I married Chen Ji for 5 years. Only to find out that I was just a substitute for his first love. He forced me to divorce him for the white moonlight. My mother's life was hanging by a thread. And I had to rely on his money to keep her alive. I could only endure in silence. When my mother passed away, I tricked him into signing the divorce papers, took most of his wealth, and ran away, leaving him and his white moonlight stunned in the burning house. But then, later, I heard that he had set the house on fire. And even his first love couldn't stop him. Chen Ji cheated. But the gossip in the circle was that he had rekindled his old love. I went to find him, originally to ask if the rumors were true. But as soon as I opened the door to his office, I was bumped by someone coming out. "Oh, it's Miss Lee. I'm sorry. I was too focused on Mr. Chen's documents and didn't notice you were coming in." Xu Yuyu apologized with a mournful face, looking innocent. Her eyes were bright and sparkling, though without a hint of regret. Before I could speak, Chen Ji quickly came over, coldly standing in front of Xu Yuyu, blocking her. "Li Ji, after all these years, you're still so careless? You just want money, so just ask the butler next time. Don't come all the way to my office. Aren't you ashamed?" He pulled Xu Yuyu back into the office and shut the door, leaving me, the president's wife, outside. I clenched the card in my hand, facing the surprised or mocking gazes of the employees. I lowered my head, blushing with embarrassment, and left in confusion. Chen Ji no longer loved me. But he hadn't been like this before. Chen Ji had always been jokingly called the Romeo of the Beijing Circle by our mutual friends. The first time he saw me, he immediately bought the company I worked for and became my boss. Every day he came to the company not to work, but to be present in front of me. Every time I changed jobs, he bought the company. Until I could no longer find a decent job, the industry blacklisted me, and I could only stay under his control. Then he started clinging to me. Ignoring his status as a young master in the Beijing Circle, he'd stay with me late at the office, helping me write copy, even accompanying me to deliver takeout late at night. One day, while I was delivering takeout, I fell off my bike, and his Rolls-Royce parked beside me. "Are you really that broke?" He hung the takeout bag on his car's rearview mirror, then drove 30 miles to deliver it to the customer's door. The takeout, which had been exposed to the cold wind, had frozen by the time it arrived. That night, I was scolded by both the customer and the merchant. I also lost my part-time job. I squatted at the entrance of the neighborhood, eating the now cold and hard crayfish, searching for other jobs. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Chen Ji standing not far away, his body tense. "Mr. Chen, I'm quitting tomorrow. Please settle my salary for this month." I spat out the crayfish shell, not even looking at him. "I'll raise your salary. Add your delivery money on top of it. And another 20,000 per month." No, I refused. Being with him stripped me of all self-respect. 50,000, his voice was indifferent. The two words like a cold breeze that sent a shiver down my spine. I couldn't stop my heart from fluttering. 100,000, Chen Ji raised the offer. I stood up and threw the takeout box at his feet. "Young master, I also have self-respect." The soup and crayfish shells stained his expensive leather shoes, and the cheap smell made him frown. But he remained composed, with only a fleeting moment of surprise flashing on his face. He said, "Do you want self-respect for your mother's life? During the day you work, at night you deliver takeout. Can you make 200,000 a month? Before coming to you, I paid $1 million at the hospital. That's enough to extend your mother's life for 5 years." He reached out to touch my head, but this time I couldn't avoid him. "Li Ji, I will respect you. From tomorrow, I won't go to the office." His voice softened, but he added, "I'll pick you up from work." Like an ordinary man chasing the woman he likes, he intruded on my life with an extremely strong presence. He turned my originally calm life upside down, making my stagnant heart slowly sprout love, which he relentlessly watered, until a small sprout grew wild, occupying my entire heart. That night's scene replayed 1,000 times in my mind. Later, I accepted his proposal. We lived together for 5 years. I felt immense love from him, and I also loved him with all my might. But now, he has someone new, and he loves that person just as fiercely. He wants everyone to know that he now loves Xu Yuyu. Coming out of the office building, I received a new friend request on WeChat. The WeChat nickname was Yuyu. I knew it was Xu Yuyu. I don't know why, but I accepted the friend request. She sent a few pictures. They were class photos from Chen Ji's university graduation. Xu Yuyu thoughtfully circled both her and Chen Ji's figures, showing that after stealing him for so many years, it was time to return him. Xu Yuyu already looked a little like me. But now it seemed clear, I resembled her from when she was in university. They were university classmates. And I had always thought that Chen Ji fell in love with me at first sight because he had found a replacement. Oh, so that's how it is. Their relationship progressed quickly. And before long, Chen Ji proposed a divorce. That night, I wore my sexiest nightgown and kept him up late. There was no choice. No matter what job I found, I couldn't afford my mother's life-extending medical bills. I didn't want to lose my mother. And I couldn't bear to let go of these 5 years of love. Maybe their plan was disrupted by me. Xu Yuyu quickly posted a picture of a 10-carat diamond ring on her social media. It seemed she was preparing to win him over. I silently ordered a set of even more alluring nightgowns. Chen Ji still hadn't mentioned the divorce. Xu Yuyu grew anxious, updating her social media with posts about wedding preparations, taking wedding photos, choosing bedding, and so on. I saw every single post. Chen Ji, who used to be so loyal, had changed. He started enjoying the rivalry between Xu Yuyu and me. One in the south, the other in the north, both fighting for his affection. During this period, he mentioned divorce several times, even bringing the divorce papers once. But I never agreed. He didn't press the issue either, comfortably enjoying the situation. On the other hand, Xu Yuyu eagerly decorated their wedding room with Chen Ji. His social media updates were live-streamed by Xu Yuyu. I watched with great amusement. Chen Ji had truly loved me once. And the whole Beijing circle knew it. So no matter what, he wouldn't make things too ugly between us. As long as my mother was alive, I wouldn't agree to a divorce. I wouldn't let her grow old, waiting to die, still worrying about my problems. As for everything else, it didn't matter. I was still the same as before, completely ignoring Xu Yuyu, pretending that Chen Ji's grand affair didn't exist. I woke up an hour earlier every day, putting on makeup and preparing breakfast for him. This was what he had wanted me to do by the 2nd year of our marriage. But back then, I had all his love. So whenever I acted spoiled, he couldn't bear to make things difficult for me. Sigh, I really married a troublemaker. He smiled. Even though he wanted me to be virtuous and make him breakfast, he still got up early to leave me food before work because he knew I didn't like having maids. So everything around the house was done by him. I enjoyed 5 years of meticulous care from him. But when I realized his heart was no longer with me, I began to care for him. I started to package myself according to his preferences, looking beautiful and elegant outside, being a virtuous wife at home, spending time with his parents every week, and visiting his grandparents every month. These were things I never wanted to do. But I did them well, motivated by my mother's life, which depended on the sky-high medical bills paid by Chen Ji. I knew, deep down, that Chen Ji still wanted to divorce me, because Xu Yuyu wasn't just any mistress. She was his first love, his white moonlight. As long as Xu Yuyu was around, he would always waver. What I could do was desperately try to keep Chen Ji's heart, because as long as he stayed, my mother would live. A monthly medical bill of 200,000. I couldn't afford it. I sadly, painfully realized that without Chen Ji, my mother wouldn't survive. At night, he came home smelling of perfume, his collar stained with foundation. He seemed unaware. Or perhaps he thought that since I couldn't leave him, and since he had Xu Yuyu, he didn't need to care about my feelings. I had already prepared a full meal, cleaning the house spotless. Timing it, I walked out with the last bowl of soup just as Chen Ji opened the door. I wore the only men's apron I had and smiled sweetly at him. Looks like I finished cooking just in time. Come eat, everything's fresh. There was a flash of surprise in his eyes, but it quickly turned into tenderness. He embraced me. Xiao Li, you know what? I can feel your love. He looked at me with deep affection, but I felt a wave of discomfort. When he didn't like his wife going out to work for others, I obediently stayed home, like a puppet. When he didn't want me to associate with my old, poor friends, I lost my close friends for him. When his grandparents were ill and demanded that I care for them, I didn't want to make him feel awkward, but was pushed for 2 months, losing 10 pounds in the process. Yet he didn't feel my love. But as soon as I fulfilled 2 insignificant requests, he could feel my love. I gently patted his back, speaking softly, "Go ahead and eat, I'll hang your coat up." "Okay." He obediently sat down and began to eat. I hung up his coat, only to see the divorce papers placed on the hallway table. So, he still planned to divorce me today. But the sight after opening the door made him hesitate again. Nausea. He sat at the dining table, eating with relish, while his phone kept lighting up with messages, which he ignored. 5 years of marriage made it incredibly easy for me to please him. Shu Yuyu was furious and had to take her plan to his grandparents. The elderly couple had always disliked me, believing Shu Yuyu should be their granddaughter-in-law. While Chen Ji was eating, he received a call from his grandfather, who vaguely said that Shu Yuyu had visited them. But it was too late, and she had no way to get home. What a stupid excuse. But Chen Ji believed it. Go ahead, I'll clean up here. I played the good wife, pretending I didn't know who Shu Yuyu was. Chen Ji, feeling relieved, quickly left. What should I do? If I stopped him, it would ruin my image and play into Shu Yuyu's hands. As long as I don't divorce, Chen Ji will keep sending money to the hospital every month. But things didn't go as I hoped. On the day I went to pay for my mother's hospital fees again, the doctor didn't greet me with his usual smile. Instead, he pulled me aside. Mrs. Chen, there's no need to continue. Your mother is at the end of her rope. Extending her life would only prolong her suffering. The string in my heart snapped with a sharp jolt. A wave of intense nausea swept over me, and I threw up into the nearest trash can. Since I was 17, I've been earning money for my mother's treatment. Her illness couldn't be cured. Slowly, her treatment became about prolonging her life. Now, the doctor said it couldn't be continued. I felt like my insides were being ripped out. A huge fear and chill enveloped me. I thought, why couldn't I be the one to die instead? Behind me, I seemed to hear nurses and patients whispering, having money doesn't help. Money can prolong life, but not buy it. Poor thing, she's taken care of her mother for 10 years. But still couldn't keep her. My vision went black. When it cleared, I was lying in a hospital bed. My mother, who had been bedridden for more than 10 years, had lost her ability to walk last year. But now she was sitting beside me, wiping my sweat. Mom, I spoke with a sob in my voice. All the years of grievance came rushing out. Her withered hand gently caressed my face. Good child, let's get a divorce. When she said that, it was as though all her energy was drained, and she withered away. She leaned over the bed, quietly repeating, good child, let's divorce. He's a bad man, let's not keep him. The doctor and nurse both entered the room. The doctor exclaimed, this old lady, she couldn't even get out of bed. How did she come so far to this room today? Old lady, hold on. The nurse walked over to me and, after witnessing everything, spoke to me in a calm voice. Mrs. Chen, you're pregnant. Congratulations. Congratulations. The nurse's voice echoed in my ear. My mother is about to die. And you're telling me congratulations? I got out of bed and stumbled toward my mother's room. The doctor, who had been attending to my mother, was also walking back. Mrs. Chen, please accept my condolences. Several people rushed over to help me. Some told me to grieve. Some told me to contact family members. But I didn't have any family. My family was in the room ahead. And they told me she had died. I broke free from everyone and walked toward the room. My mother was lying there. All the tubes disconnected. She should be at peace now. I didn't make a scene. I sat quietly by my mother's bedside, watching her over and over again. Behind me, someone sighed and began dialing Chen Ji. The middle-aged doctor put the call on speaker. The moment the phone was connected, and the doctor finished explaining the situation, Shu Yuyu's voice came through. Hospital? You've got the wrong number. No one in our family is at the hospital. The phone was hurriedly hung up. And the doctor had no solution. I suddenly felt an unprecedented calm. I quickly handled my mother's affairs and made an appointment for an abortion. 2 weeks later, I returned to the apartment I shared with Chen Ji. When he saw me come back, he looked annoyed. Isn't it just that I didn't accompany you? What's all this running away from home about? It seemed he had no idea about the hospital incident. I ignored him, silently went to the kitchen to prepare something for myself. I heard the sound of him slamming the door as he stormed out. I posted a loving photo on WeChat, only visible to Shu Yuyu. 10 minutes after posting it, I saw Chen Ji's location rapidly moving from his office to the city's most expensive villa district. Yes, Chen Ji and I could see each other's location. He had linked us when he was madly in love with me, worried I wouldn't feel secure. Now, through the location, I saw him rushing to comfort his first love. Less than half an hour later, I saw a new update from Shu Yuyu on my feed. I told him no need, but he insisted on delivering it to me. He even switched his meeting to an online one. He's so spoiled. The photo attached was of them holding hands. I gave it a like, then quickly unliked it after realizing that Chen Ji was a mutual friend. Over the next few days, I posted daily about my loving relationship. Chen Ji had once loved me, so I had more than enough material. Chen Ji was forced to shuttle between me and his increasingly temperamental first love. This continued for half a month, until one day, Chen Ji suddenly brought up divorce. The moment he hesitated to speak, I sighed in relief, pulling out the divorce papers I had prepared in advance. His cold, stern face froze. Li Ji, you've wanted a divorce for a long time, haven't you? The divorce wasn't finalized. The divorce papers I handed to him were torn up the very second they reached his hands. Li Ji, I never expected this. You've never loved me. All the money and effort I spent. And I never truly got your love. He seemed utterly desperate, slamming his fist on the table before storming out. But clearly, the person he truly loved had returned. He not only verbally assured me that he would never divorce, but after leaving, he sent me a voice message. If you divorce, you won't get a penny. Don't challenge me. If he had just looked at the papers a little longer, he would have realized that I never intended to take his money. As long as I could divorce him, I would walk away with nothing. While Chen Ji went to work, I went to Xu Yuyu's place. It was a luxurious villa, with light pink roses filling the garden. The soft pink flowers were sometimes mixed with a few darker ones. Climbing up the railings from the garden to the outside, it was beautiful. I stood outside the garden, and suddenly, a sharp pain pierced my heart. When Chen Ji loved me, he would always prepare roses, especially pink roses, on my birthday or anniversaries. He said I suited roses, especially the pink ones. I thought it was just because he liked roses. So he bought them for me, the person he loved. I kept a thick stack of photos, one for each time he gave me roses. People often say that men stop caring about giving flowers after a few years. Who would remember the little things that women care about? But Chen Ji didn't stop. For 5 years, on all kinds of anniversaries, the roses, especially the pink ones, never failed to appear. I was so proud of it. I recorded every moment of Chen Ji and Xu Yuyu's touching love. Turns out, the real lover of roses was Xu Yuyu. A middle-aged woman opened the door. She hadn't been involved in all the twists and turns, and kindly asked who I was looking for. I'm a friend of Xu Yuyu. I came to talk to her. The woman smiled and invited me in, even making tea for me. Wait a moment. My daughter and son-in-law are out shopping. They should be back around mealtime. My smile froze at the corner of my lips. So this woman was Xu Yuyu's mother. The house was much warmer than the one I shared with Chen Ji. There was a giant family photo on the wall. Next to the TV were 3 figurines, which I realized were of Chen Ji, Xu Yuyu, and a little child. Looking at the little child, Xu Yuyu's mother spoke with a hint of sadness. My daughter lost a baby 5 years ago. She was heartbroken for a long time. But after resting for 5 years, she came back, and Chen Ji was still waiting for her. Her face was full of affection. My son-in-law is a good man. I smiled weakly. My heart was torn. This 5 years, indeed, had been one long dream. When Chen Ji and Xu Yuyu returned, Xu Yuyu's mother was showing me their carefully planned wedding schedule. It looked so beautiful. The opening video showed all the hardships and struggles they had gone through together, and their deep affection for each other, never giving up. I was almost moved to tears. From Xu Yuyu's mother's perspective, I was just the unwelcome third party. 2 sets of footsteps approached, accompanied by cheerful laughter. When they saw me, everything came to a halt. Xu Yuyu turned green, glancing at her mother, then at me. Once she confirmed her mother didn't know anything, she forced a smile and greeted me. What are you doing here? Chen Ji's face changed 1,000 times in a second: shock, fear, terror, calm, entanglement, hesitation. He stared at me, his face turning pale. Xu Yuyu's mother cheerfully took my hand. You two talk. I'll go make dinner. The elderly woman's cheeks flushed with excitement, and she hurried into the kitchen. The moment her back disappeared into the kitchen, I pulled out the divorce papers and handed them to Chen Ji. Why is your face so pale? I won't bite you. I heard from Xu Yuyu that you two have been in love for many years. Congratulations. Once you sign the divorce papers, you'll finally be able to marry her. Chen Ji stared at me, his lips trembling. Li Ji, let's talk about this later. Xu Yuyu's face couldn't hide her joy as she snatched the papers and quickly scanned them. her eyes glowing when she saw I hadn't asked for any of Chenji's wealth. For the asset division. I only wanted the money I had earned over the years and half of what he had earned after our marriage. If he wanted the money he had spent on my mother's treatment over the years, he could just deduct it. I said it calmly, expressing my thoughts clearly. Chenji glanced at the kitchen, glaring at me. Enough of this nonsense, he reassured Xu Yuyu with a few words. Then grabbed my hand and dragged me outside. He shoved me into the car in the yard. Forcibly kissed my forehead. Don't make trouble, Xiao Li, you're a filial person. I promised Aunt Xu I'd have dinner with her. Wait for me in the car. After I'm done, we'll go home and talk. He affectionately patted my head. Then took the car keys and locked the car. He seemed quite pleased with the situation. Satisfied that no one could break his fantasy of having both me and Xu Yuyu. I couldn't open the car door and sat alone inside for over an hour. When I finally saw Chenji's reluctant figure coming out of the house, he waved goodbye to the two of them. Then quickly jumped into the car, ignoring everything I had said to him earlier. Xiao Li, our wedding anniversary is in a few days. Any ideas? He thought to himself for a moment. Let's go to your hometown by the sea. I'll bring your mother along. And we can have a romantic seaside party. Just like before. Every anniversary, I'll propose to you again. He smiled, starting the car. I've thought about it. Once we have our own kids, I'll take time off every month to travel with you. Your mom, and the kids. Does Xu Yuyu know that while you're with her, you're thinking of me? I couldn't help but mock him. Chenji didn't even flinch. She won't know. A slight pain gripped my lower abdomen. Probably from not resting after the procedure. I leaned back, closing my eyes to rest. What's wrong? Why do you look so bad? Chenji glanced at me while driving. I coldly responded. I want a divorce, but I can't get it. It's annoying. Li Ji, stop it. He fell silent for a moment. We should have a child now. Chenji, do I really need to tell you? You've already lost. You lost the child you wanted. I'll sue. I pulled my gaze from the window. I'm already talking to a lawyer. The car sped up, and soon we arrived home. Chenji hesitated as he quickly hung up a suddenly ringing phone. Then typed a message. Li Ji, I'll treat you well, he said, walking into the kitchen. Your period is coming, right? I'll make you 5 red soup, your favorite. I quietly watched him busy in the kitchen for a long time. Then calmly poured out the soup he handed me. Li Ji, you weren't like this before. He seemed angry. You can't treat my feelings for you like this. My body felt numb, but my soul was laughing uncontrollably. Should I tell Xu Yuyu this? I asked him. Chenji scowled and left. Though I knew everything he did to me was a lie. Seeing him walk away with that attitude, I felt like the pain deep inside me outweighed my lower abdomen's ache. On WeChat, Xu Yuyu was already preparing her wedding scene. Not long after, she updated again. There was just one picture of Chenji bending over, adjusting a huge diamond ring. I thought he was finally going to enjoy the honeymoon. But to my surprise, he chose to come home in the middle of the night. I was woken by the rustling sounds coming from the bathroom. Chenji was washing the underwear I hadn't gotten around to cleaning yet. He was sorting out the clothes freshly pulled from the washing machine. When he saw me coming, he smiled warmly. Sorry I came back late. I won't disturb you. I'll sleep in the living room. I glanced coldly at him and nonchalantly took all the clothes he had just hung up, throwing them into the trash. Chenji, I know everything. You're already preparing for the wedding, I said, my tone calm. Still not divorcing? Chenji froze for a second. Then quickly grabbed my hand. She only wants a wedding for herself and me. Legally, we're still married. Li Ji, I do have you in my heart. I lowered my head, pretending to be sad. So all these years, you've really been sincere with me? Chenji replied without hesitation. Of course, you're my wife. Always will be. I sighed in relief. The next moment, I took out the phone hidden in my pocket, showing him the recording screen. I'll send this to Xu Yuyu. I smiled coldly. You've completely lost me. If I send this to her, do you think you'll lose her too? At least it'll be hard to win her back. Chenji stared at the phone without saying a word. I continued. You must have set the wedding date by now, right? Do you believe that, even if you hide it from me, Xu Yuyu will go to any lengths to tell me the time and place of your wedding? She'll even send me an invitation that's just for me, inviting me to witness your happiness. And I will definitely go. Chenji's face darkened. He believed that both Xu Yuyu and I could do it. I continued. Chenji, Xu Yuyu wants more than just a wedding. She wants you. She's waited for you for so long. and now she needs reassurance. As for me, I'm pregnant. Chen Ji. Even if we divorce, I won't leave you. I thought of the lost embryo, smiling more gently. Chen Ji, we have a child now. Even if we divorce, you still love me, don't you? Chen Ji couldn't respond right away. He stared at me with wide eyes, as though recalling something. And suddenly his eyes turned red. After a long pause, he nodded slowly. Yes, I love you, Chen Ji. I will stay in this house forever. This is our home with our child. I took his hand and placed it gently on my stomach. He cried, one hand on my empty abdomen, the other signing his name on the divorce papers. That night, he stayed close to my belly, savoring the time of being a father. I gave him a few days to prepare for the wedding with Shu Yuyu and promised I'd wait here for him, to grow old together when he came back. Before he left, he had a lawyer modify the agreement. He gave me a lot of money, almost half of his entire fortune. I'll take good care of you and the child, he said as he left. The moment his figure disappeared, I contacted the owner of a guest house thousands of miles away. Is my room ready? My flight is tonight. Of course. By the time I received a message from Shu Yuyu, I was already lying in a guest house room on the other side of the country, preparing to sleep. It was past 1 a.m. Shu Yuyu sent a picture of her manicured nails. Her hand was resting on her knee, and she was wearing a gorgeous kipao. In half an hour, he'll be here to pick me up. Do you like my new nails? Li Ji, from tonight on, you've lost. My years of love with Chen Ji aren't something you can just interfere with. I suggest you never show up in our lives again. I didn't need their messages anymore, so I blocked and deleted them all. The world became peaceful. I became a single, wealthy woman, thousands of miles away. Chen Ji was surrounded by his groomsmen, fulfilling his duties as a groomsman. He looked like a victorious warrior, his hair and outfit immaculate, the flowers in his hands unusually vibrant, as if they had been waiting for this moment to bloom. Everything seemed so perfect, except for the groom's smile, which appeared forced. His phone screen hadn't turned off. Messages sent to me kept showing as rejected. He suddenly froze in the midst of the lively crowd. He had received a message canceling the shared location. Maybe it was insecurity, or perhaps overconfidence. But he opened the location tracking app. Sure enough, the message with my location had disappeared. Groom, what are you doing? Aren't you going to kiss the bride? The urging voice rang out. Everyone was egging them on. The bride seemed to understand something, looking at the groom with eyes filled not only with love and expectation, but also a hint of guilt. Chen Ji pushed through the people blocking his path, rushing to Shu Yuyu who was sitting on the bed. In the midst of the cheering and shouting, he questioned her. What did you do? Shu Yuyu's voice was drowned out. I only told her we were getting married. He snatched Shu Yuyu's phone, and her chat history was full of her one-sided messages. The last message also showed as rejected. It was nothing special. Chen Ji's hand holding the phone trembled slightly. He suddenly understood everything. He had been deceived. The mirror on the vanity in the distance silently mocked his current mess. He angrily hurled the phone across the room. The people who knew or didn't know the truth all scattered. The bride was more frightened than ever, staring at the man she loved the most, trembling. Someone with courage spoke up. The time's almost up. Maybe. The rest of the words were frozen in the icy atmosphere. Get out. After failing to contact me through all means, Chen Ji shouted. Get out. Get out. Is the wedding still going on? A staff member asked. Continue your mom. Chen Ji's anger had nowhere to go, so he swept everything off the nearest vanity. Glass bottles shattered everywhere, and various scents spread through the room. Everyone fled as if in a panic, except for Shu Yuyu. She shakily reached out to touch the beast in front of her. What's wrong with you? Get out. Chen Ji suddenly found this room unbearable. He didn't know where he pulled a lighter from, lit it, and tossed it on the floor, uncertain which of the fragrant liquids on the floor mixed with alcohol. A huge fire erupted. Shu Yuyu screamed, trying to put out the fire. As the fire grew uncontrollable, Chen Ji left the wedding room without looking back, leaving Shu Yuyu to cry and scream. My wedding room. My wedding. 2 weeks after arriving in the new city, almost all of our mutual friends tried to contact me. Some video called me, hoping to figure out which city I was in. Others tried to subtly ask about my whereabouts. All of them, without exception, wanted to know where I was. I kept my guard up and never revealed a thing. Until one day, a distant classmate sent me a message. Chen Ji has committed suicide. Our issues have nothing to do with me. But Jen G said only you could save him. I stared at the screen for a few seconds, searched for a bank account number, and transferred some money. Then I replied, go to a doctor if you're sick. I've sent the money. Please pass it on. Thanks. Just as I was about to block him, I received a 60-second voice message. I hesitated but opened it. Lee G, where are you? The child can't be without a father. Please, give me one more chance. I'm going to die. Can you? I couldn't listen anymore. With such a strong voice, it didn't sound like he was about to die. After thinking for a moment, I decided to help him stop dreaming. Under his continuous voice messages, I sent a few words. Want me to do a magic trick? Then I sent him the abortion record. The child's gone. Just a second later, the messages started flooding in again. Voice calls, one after another. But I didn't respond. I coldly blocked the last person we mutually knew, who wasn't even really a friend. The balance in my bank account grew, and my days began anew. The future looks bright.